in Mount Vernon for the first of 8 bowl championships to be decided this year. Hi everybody, I'm John Carridio along with Ray Karowski for Bowl Championship number 1. It involves a couple of Central Conference teams, and that will be the J.F. Kennedy Gales coming in with a record of 8-1, and they'll be taking on the Rye Garnets, also with a record of 8-1. Excitement reigns supreme, Ray. It's everybody's dream, every coach's and every player's dream to get down here to Memorial Field. You used to do it, right?
Yeah, it's also a great honor, and it also gives them good respectability to help out their program for the future.
All right, quick words before we take a look at the conference standings for both of these clubs. What are they going through right now? How are both coaches and both teams feeling?
Well, right now they were concerned about the weather to begin with, but the feel is definitely good. I think the second game may be a little bit different. But Kennedy is strong. They're big. They have a great running attack. They'll run from tackle to tackle. They also do the run and shoot, which we will see. They'll open it up with a double slot, put the man in motion, and flood his zone. Rye, again, they have the rat pack defense. They are strong defensively. And offensively, they are diversified. They will go 50-50, passing and running with excellent receivers.
All right, let's take a look at how these teams finished up during the regular season. As we show you in League number 4, the Gales of Kennedy finished up in second place, a game behind the Indians of John Jay, who went undefeated this season, 7-0 in conference, 9-0 overall. The Gales at 6-1 and 8-1, followed by Peekskill, Spankinkill, Brewster, Hendrick Hudson, Panis, Somers, and Beacon. So League 4 consisting of a lot of teams in the northern part of Westchester, Putnam, and Orange County. Now, Rye, as you know, played their season in League 6, finished in a tie for first place with the Rams of Portchester. Both teams 5-0-1 in conference play, and that only tie Rye and Portchester at 7-7 apiece. Then in the rest of the league, Harrison, Sleepy Hollow, Nyack, Woodlands, and Tappan Zee. So you've got a bunch of teams in the southern part of Westchester playing in League number 6, and then over in League number 4, a lot of teams in the upper county. So we have a chance to watch a northern school play a southern school. And in just a moment, we're going to have for you, after this short break, a quick preview of both of the teams. So stay right where you are, because coming up, as we continue with the pregame show here at Cable 3, a preview of the clubs, plus some highlights when we return to Memorial Field in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Chuck Roberts. We at Headline News are glad to join you in Westchester County on United Artists Cable Channel 26. What I like most about Headline News is its convenience. Whenever I get a chance to flip on the TV, even just for 30 minutes, I get caught up right away. Headlines, sports, finance, features, and I don't need to stop what I'm doing as I would with a newspaper or magazine. So get the headline habit, and you'll see what we mean when we say Headline News takes you around the world, around the clock.
It truly has been an exciting and eventful year this season on the Cable 3 Sports High School Football Game of the Week. And every Tuesday night on Extra Points, we've had fun looking at the highlights, talking to the coaches and players, and keeping tabs with all of the teams around Section 1. Well, now it's time to wrap everything up. On Tuesday night, December 2nd, Ray Karowski will join me, John Carridio, for a 1-hour live Extra Points season finale. We'll announce the all-Cable 3 team and our Coach of the Year. So join us December 2nd for the final Extra Points of the year. Well, welcome back to Memorial Field in Mount Vernon. I'm John Carridio along with Ray Karowski. And first of all, we're going to preview the Garnets of Rye. We've had a chance to watch them during the season here on Cable 3 on our Game of the Week. And there you see the man who runs the club, Dino Gar, who is now in his second season back as the head coach of the Rye Garnets. And Ray, we watched them shellac Eastchester 27-0 with a couple of fine offensive and defensive plays.
They also have, when you talk about offense and defense, we have to get to the personnel. At quarterback, you have Riebling. He's only a sophomore. He has a lot of poise. He's getting better. You have Joey King, an excellent receiver and probably the most versatile, most valuable player. You have Quinson at fullback, and he has such tremendous quick feet. He's a great linebacker. And then you have Sal Giglio, who is playing tailback, and he scored the touchdown in the Eastchester game that we covered, and he also scored the winning touchdown against Harrison. I've talked to Dino Gar during the week, and one of his main concerns is that he really, as a coach, has to motivate his team to more or less alleviate or eradicate from the minds of the players the Harrison game. Because that's like a Rose Bowl game for them. They want to get it out of their minds, and also the choosing, the pairing of the bowl game. They thought that they would be matched with John Jay because they were ranked second, John Jay first. So as a motivator and a coach, he's going to have to work on that, get that out of their minds, and then now with the weather. He thinks that with Muddy Field Kennedy may have the advantage because they're strong and they do jam right down your throat up the middle, and it may hurt his passing game. But I think the field is okay, and I think there won't be any problem there right now.
And what about the Rat Pack defense?
The Rat Pack defense, I mean, they'll bite you, they'll swarm around you. They're just punishing. They have good angle of pursuit. They come 4 or 5 men at the ball, and they are the best defensive team in Section 1. They gave up a total of 31 points, which I think is awesome in 9 games.
All right, the Rye Garnets, as you can see right there, celebrating their victory over Harrison. And here are highlights when they were playing Portchester. As we mentioned, a game that ended up as a 7-7 tie, and that in a League 6 encounter. Portchester, of course, will be involved in a bowl game a little bit later on this weekend here at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon. Now the other team, the opponents, the Gales of JF Kennedy. Their head coach is Bob Middlestat. He's in his 3rd season at the helm for the Gales, a team that finished up at 8-1 on the season. Their only loss, the final regular season game when they lost to John Jay 25-6. Now this isn't the matchup that Rye really wanted, but as you said, they have to get the Harrison game out of their minds. They have to get out of the possibility of playing John Jay because this club is pretty good.
Also, you're talking about Kenny. They're going to have to get the John Jay game out of their mind. And what Middlestat wants to do, he really wants to establish a running game. And he has the tailback, Gordian, who is rushed for over 1,100 yards, a Connet Award winner. He's an honor roll student. He's total over 1,200 college boards. He wants to go Ivy League. I mean, this is just a super player. They have Papa at fullback, who is a 3-year starter, 6'2", 220. He is a punishing like a freight train runner. So you can see right there that they're going to punish and run right up the middle. They have 2 strong offensive guards in Tom Courtney and Jim Lambertus, who are 6 foot each, and Tom is 215 pounds and Jim is 222 pounds. So you're going to see a lot of heavy trapping and a lot of collision up there. I was talking to Middlestat during the week, and he is really honored. It's a privilege to be ranked as one of the top teams in Section 1, to be invited to a bowl game. And his main concern is that Rye has been to a bowl game. They've been there 7 times. This is their 8th time. He is concerned about his team not being awed going into a big game like this. He thinks that Rye would be more comfortable than his players. So as a coach, he's going to have to motivate his team to be prepared and ready to go tonight.
Okay, as Ray mentioned, both of these teams are not strangers to bowl play here at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon. As a matter of fact, for Rye, they have been here quite a few times. Why, for JF Kennedy, this will be just their 2nd appearance. The Gales, their only other appearance back in 1973, they lost to Pleasantville by a score of 23-14. For Rye, this will be their 8th bowl appearance. They have won 5 and have lost 2, and of course you all remember their win last year in 1985 over the John Jay Indians in a real good ball game. 7-0 was the final as Rye upped their bowl record to 5-2. Well, both teams getting set for the opening kickoff. We're all ready, the entire Cable 3 sports team, and we hope you are as well. Straight ahead, as we continue from Memorial Field in Mount Vernon, we have for you Bowl Championship number 1. It's a Class B encounter featuring Rye and Kennedy, and we've got the opening kickoff coming up in just a moment.
If your tires look like this, you better see Mavis.
No matter what make or model you drive, Mavis will service your car's brakes, shocks, mufflers, and front end, all with the latest equipment.
At Mavis Tire and Auto Service, we'll sell you tires cheaper than anyone. We'll sell you Michelin tires cheaper than Michelin, Firestone, Dunlop, and Goodyear tires cheaper than anywhere. There's no reason to buy tires anywhere else but Mavis.
Visit any one of these Mavis Tire locations in Westchester, Putnam, Orange, Rockland, and the Bronx.
Everyone likes the Gannett Westchester Rockland newspapers for different reasons. Junior likes the sports section. Sis and her friends like the TV listings. And Mom and Dad like the classified ads best because they're looking for a new home. There's something for everyone at the Gannett Westchester Rockland newspapers. Call 914-6945-111 to subscribe.
For the first of 8 Section 1 Champion Bowl games that will be played this weekend. And as you saw, a quick shot of the American flag bristling in the wind, almost standing at attention, and the clouds rolling by. It is overcast tonight. There is no rain in the forecast, but you can see some rather ominous-looking clouds rolling over Memorial Field as we're getting very near to darkness. But we expect the game to be played without rain. The field, however, just a bit sloppy as we get set for the game. It was a lot worse this morning when we showed up here at about 11 o'clock. And with a brisk wind that's been blowing all day, it has helped in drying it off. But it's going to be a little slick, and that may benefit the offense, as was the case the last two ball games that we've had, Eastchester and Rye, and then last week Irvington and Bronxville. Both games played on fairly sloppy fields, and it seemed to benefit the defense in both of those games. So we'll have to see what happens here this afternoon. As you can see out on the field right now, the captain's going through the ceremonial coin toss to decide who's going to get the football first. Let's take a look at the officials, and we've got one new feature today. As you can see, we've got 5 of the quote-unquote zebras working tonight's game, and that's a new little wrinkle today. Our referee is Tony Sabella. The umpire is Ross Coatman. The head linesman today will be John Palacchio. The line judge is Jim Kolaski, and the back judge today will be responsible for punts, deep passes, and the safety man is Tony Longo. And up in the booth with us, the timekeeper, also an official during the regular season, and he is Fred Beersley. And they will keep the official time on the scoreboard clock here at Memorial Field. A nice little feature that we have during the Section 1 bowl games. Ray, as the teams get themselves together, you participated in a couple of these. As a matter of fact, I remember we had one of your games a few years ago on the tube, one that you lost, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
With 1 second.
That's right. But what are these teams going through? How do they feel? There are a lot of butterflies for both of these schools now.
Yes, there's definitely butterflies, and the week of practice was just, it wasn't like getting ready for a typical game, because you would go out, you would practice, and the coaches, I've been going around talking to them all, they've been going over films, tearing them down, getting a tendency on the opponent, and the players know, being in a bowl game, you are one of the top teams in Section 1. There is a little bit more added pressure, it's a little bit more prestige, you're being recognized, everyone is seeing you, and you're representing your league, you know, which is better. And definitely there are butterflies, and also at the coach's end, you want to be in a bowl game because it will help your program. The students coming up will want to be in a bowl game, so, you know, you're getting off to a good start. And this is how you build a successful program, you know, which boils down to winning.
All right, teams coming out on the field. Rye will be kicking off as you take a look at the J.F. Kennedy Gales. And they are run by that gentleman right there, Bob Middlestad, now in his 3rd season as the Gales head coach. Finished up this year with a record of 8-1, and in league play 6-1. And just for your identification, he's the man wearing the white sleeve jacket. And on the other end of the field, there he is, Dino Gar, the head cheese of the Rat Pack defense. Dino, who is in his 2nd season back as the head coach of the Garnets with an undefeated campaign. So the kick is underway, and bowl game number 1 is also underway. This one comes down to Bill Deegan, number 20, who finds an opening, gets it across the 40-yard line. Great return up to the 45. So J.F. Kennedy in business. 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. We'll set up the offensive unit for you. At quarterback will be number 16, Bob Murray. He's a senior. Don Papa will be the fullback, number 33, the tailback, and a good one, Joe Jordian. The wingback is Craig Robson, with the split end being Jeff Hogg. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Gales at their own 45-yard line, and an excellent return. Murray will give the football away on the first play, goes to the tailback, Jordan, and he gets a pickup of 3 yards, and it will be 2nd down and 7. On the offensive line for the Gales, they'll go with Frank Beauty, Jim Lambertus, Henry Mallon, Tom Courtney, and the right tackle will be David Rangel. They'll also have a tight end in as well, number 87, Mark Jacobs. 2nd down, and we'll call it 8. Murray brings the club up, has Papa and Jordian in the backfield behind him. Robeson is the wingback, and they'll give it away to Papa, number 33, the fullback, and he is lucky to get it up to the 49-yard line. A 2-yard gain there, where it'll be 3rd down and 6. Defensively for Dino Gar's Garnets, they'll go with a 4-man front. Nick Stobreed, Scott Johnson, Roy Haney, Gunnar Huber. The middle linebacker is Tom Codaspoti. The D-backs for the Garnets we'll get to after this play. It'll be 3rd down and 6 from the 49-yard line. Murray still with the football in the play action, puts it outside. Jordan has it as he slips down, tried to make his cut back up to the inside of the field. Got it up to the Garnets' 46-yard line, but he'll be a yard shy of the 1st down.
Now here they're in the I formation. You're going to see Kenny right here. There's the fake to the fullback right there, Popeye. There's the option. The pitch number 32, Gordian, running around the end. You can see him just slipping a little bit because the field is a little bit muddy out there.
Deep backs for the Rye Garnets. The 2 outside linebackers, Surhoff and Armas. Bach and Wickland are the cornerbacks. Quinson and Colin Haney will be the 2 safeties. So J.F. Kennedy will be forced to punt the football away on 4th down. This is a short kick. Joe King can't hold on to it, but does finally fall back on it. And Rye will have it 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line with 9:47 left to go in the 1st quarter. So let's set up the offensive unit for you for the Garnets of Rye. Steve Riebling, the sophomore, is the quarterback. Chris Quinson is the fullback. Sal Giglio, the tailback. Tommy Armas, the wingback. And the split end will be number 9, Mark Surhoff. On the line, Mark Weintraub, Gunnar Huber, Brian O'Mara, Tom Lee, Tom Kodaspati, and the tight end number 81 is John Thompson. 1st and 10 from the Garnets from their own 25-yard line. And on the first play, they'll go to Giglio. And this is what he showed us all year long. Able to slip away from tackles in 2nd effort. Gets him across the 25 up to the 28. A pickup of 3 yards. Defensively for the J.F. Kennedy Gales, James Fracula, Jim Lambertus, Tom Courtney, Pat Donovan, and Dan McNamara will be on that 5-man front. On the backs, Joe Jordan, Don Popper are the linebackers, Tony Forte, Walt Fabricus is the cornerbacks, John Rosa and Bill Deegan will be the 2 safeties. 2nd down and 7. Riebling, play action, wants to put this one up, looks towards the sideline, and completes it for a 1st down to Joe King. Knocked down on the play by Tony Forte, number 22, the cornerback, but that's good for a 1st down, the 1st of the day for the Garnets.
Now right here, Rye's going to use a play action. There's the fake right there. That's to freeze the linebackers. Riebling sees King right in the flat. Beautiful catch right there in the sideline.
14-yard pass completion, 1st and 10 for the Garnets. Ball now up to the 42-yard line of Rye. Riebling to the fullback, Quinson. And he powers his way up across the 45 to the 46-yard line. And for Rye, they will now be faced with a 2nd down, and we'll call it 6. Pick up a 4 for Quinson. Garnets 8-0-1 on the season. So far, their 2nd straight undefeated campaign. Last year went 9-0-1, and this will be the final regular season for both, or final game for both of these schools. Riebling gets the football away, and coming in, number 41, Scott Newman. And Coach, we saw a little bit of him in our Eastchester Rye game, kind of in a mop-up role after Rye had really opened it up, but he played very well in that game.
Yeah, Scott's only a sophomore, and he's a powerful runner. He runs with his knees high, he doesn't go down easily, but that last play was a trap play. Number 65 for guard had executed an excellent trap, and they ran it off tackle to the left.
4-yard pickup for Newman. It's now 3rd down and 2. The ball is right at midfield. Riebling to Quinson. He has the 1st down, gets it across the 50 to the 45, and that'll be a pickup of 5 yards. 1st down, number 2 for the Garnets as this drive continues to roll right along. Coach, that offensive line looks pretty good, opening up the holes.
Not only that, but Quinton's 5'7", 170 pounds, and he just hits in there like a 200-pounder. And I'm looking at Rye's offense, and it's sort of like a half wishbone attack that they used the last 2 plays.
Giglio gets the call, nothing around the end, and again bounces off a couple tackles, gets it back to the line of scrimmage, so turned a loss into no gain, but that kid will not go down.
Giglio is a powerful runner. He just keeps those legs driving like pistons. There's the pitch right to him. He gets right there, balance, he gets popped, he springs around, goes, trying to pick up extra yardage. Now what they're going to have to do, Kennedy's going to have to wrap You can hear the popping, John. You can hear like the leather cracking. But what they're going to have to do, they're going to have to wrap their arms around Giglio. They're going to have to imagine that they're tackling the man behind Giglio so that they will go through him and then wrap him to get him down. Otherwise, he's going to just spin and bounce off you for extra yardage.
All right, we've got our first penalty of the day, a holding call against the Garnets' 10-yard penalty, so it brings it back to the 45-yard line of Rye, where it will be first down and 20. Quinson and Giglio, the setbacks behind Riebling, and they give it away to Quinson, the fullback. And the senior across the 50-yard line up to the Gales' 47-yard line. It'll be second down and 12, pickup of 8.
Quinson's, again, a powerful runner. Right here, he just runs right through. It's taking 2 or 3 men to bring him down. The amazing thing is he plays the entire game, offense and defense. He's an outside linebacker on defense, and he's one of the top tacklers. He has like over 100 tackles.
All right, Joe King now split out wide to the top of the screen, a second down and 12. And Riebling looking, throws, and completes to Surhoff. And he'll be very close to a first down as he gets it to the 35-yard line. If he is across the 35, it'll be good for a first down. That's a 12-yard completion. Make it 13 yards, and it is a first down.
Okay, what a beautiful play here. You're going to see right here. Here's the play action. Here's the bootleg. The waggle pass coming across the middle, wide open. Beautiful catch. Excellent call. It's a waggle pass. They fake. It's like a bootleg. If he wasn't open, if Riebling had yardage, I'm sure he would have ran for 12. But Surhoff coming across the middle was wide open. Excellent play call.
Riebling now 2 for 2 for 27 yards. Go back to the ground game. Giglio with a little hole off the tackle, close to the 30-yard line. And that'll be a gain of 5 more for Giglio. And from there, it'll be second down and 5. Garnets look very impressive on their opening drive.
Well, the success for Rye right now is their diversibility. They're passing, they're running. They're not just staying with the running game. They're not running up the middle off tackle. What they're doing is they're mixing it up with the running game. It's a well-balanced attack, and it's a successful drive.
Second and 5. Here comes Giglio again. Finds a hole off the tackle. Good move to follow his blockers and find that open hole. He'll come up a yard shy of the first down stake as he gets it up to the 26-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 1 from there.
You can see when Giglio was running, he saw a little space. In other words, it's what you call daylight. Now, they want to zip right through there with blazing speed. And a lot of times with the field wet like this, you just don't get that extra yard or 2. But that's a sign of a good back. He has his head up, his eyes open, and looking for the opening.
3rd and 1. Garnets will go for the first down. Quinson with the call. He has it. And his second effort drives him down close to the 20-yard line. And the Garnets on their opening drive have already picked up 4 first downs and are just rolling down on the field, a drive that started at their own 25.
Now, there's 65 right there. That's a trap play. He's opening up that hole to get that extra yardage so that the first down can be made. Now, number 65 for a right guard is Tom Leary. That's 2 good, excellent traps I've just seen him execute.
Now a timeout on the field taken by J.F. Kennedy there first. Bob Middlestad's got to go out there and see if he can shore up the defense a little bit as Rye's just rolling right along. The Garnets, who come into tonight's action as our #1 team among the small schools with a record of 8-0-1, just a few points ahead of the Port Chester Rams, who are also 8-0-1, as you can see right there. Irvington at number 3, John Jay 4, Bronxville 5, Kennedy coming in at number 6 with the 8-1 mark, Dobbs Ferry 7, Rhinebeck 8, Harrison 9, and Byram Hills number 10.
Hey, Dino Gar's out there talking to the offensive team. Now, he's a field general of this team. You know, he's building the program. He's successful. And talking to him during the week, he said that he really respects his ball players. He respects their attitude. He respects their commitment to excellence. And he knew that there was pressure on him this year to be good, and they did live up to it.
All right, 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Make it the 22. Riebling with a long snap count. Gives it away. Giglio again picks his spot and is close to the 15-yard line. It looks like they'll spot it at about the 16. And for Giglio, that's a gain of 4 more. Ray, I've got 4 carries for Giglio, 4 for Quinson, 2 passes.
Yeah, they're mixing up. Here's an isolation play. There's a reverse pivot. The Quinson's leading the blocking, coming straight up. Giglio's running the tailback. That's what you, on an isolation, you're getting an extra blocker from the backfield on the linebacker so you can get that yardage.
2nd down and 6 for the Garnets. 4 minutes left to go, first quarter, no score. Giglio, and this time he's brought down on the first attempt. Not an easy thing to do, as we have found out over the weeks. We have a chance to watch the Garnets play. The tackle made there on the play by the Gales, number 73, Jim Lambertus.
Okay, this is what I would call a 45 blast. In other words, you're going off left tackle, that's the 5-hole. The tailback is number 4. The fullback is leading through the hole. That's a blast play. It's power.
3rd and 2. Ball now down at the 15-yard line. Dribbling off to Giglio. Tries to sprint to the outside, and this time the defense is there. Number 42, Walt Beekless, the cornerback, a junior, coming up in a hurry and knocking Giglio out of bounds. No gain on the play, and it will now be 4th down.
Now Giglio's going to run off tackle here, and then he bounces to the outside. You see how he bounced now? Look at the pursuit by, oh, Kennedy, good pursuit. 42 and 32 for Kennedy. They're really, that's what you call feathering it out defensively. That means the runner has nowhere to go but to the sideline and eventually run out of bounds, but they made a tackle before.
All right, here's a big play for both schools, and it's going to be a reverse. Surhoff looks like he wants to throw, puts it up into the back of the end zone. Yes, touchdown! Tommy Armis, number 14, made the grab. A 15-yard touchdown pass. Mark Surhoff to Tommy Armis.
Okay, now you're going to see Mark Surhoff give a little pump because Armis was covered. Armis went to the goalpost to find himself in the open. Now here's Mark right there. He sees he's covered. Then now Armis goes to the goalpost to get away from the man that was covering him in a corner for a touchdown. Excellent play, good read, and way to find an opening for Armis.
So now the attempted extra point by Joe King, and it sails high over the scaffold, over the camera, and more important, over the goalposts. With 2:36 left to go in the first quarter, the Garnets are on top. They lead 7-0.
The key to that play was in the end zone, Armis was covered in the far corner. Surhoff pumped his arm a little bit. He knew that he was covered, and then at the next second, Armis just broke to the middle of the field in the end zone. Mark's arm threw their touchdown. That's excellent on Armis's part. In other words, you're looking for an opening. That's what you have to do, and he does it well. We have it coming up right here. Here's Mark right here. He sees he's covered. He takes a couple of more steps. Now he sees Armis going to the center. There he is, right in the open. Excellent. Excellent on Armis's part, finding the opening.
Last week in the Harrison game, Dino Gar called that same play on a 4th down and 1. And last week, it was Surhoff who couldn't find anybody open and ran it in for the first down. And then on the next play, Giglio scored the winning touchdown with less than a minute to go. So that's the second time that Dino Gar's used that play successfully in the ballgame. As the Gales get the ball back, they trail now 7-0. But again, we'll have excellent field position, 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line. They started their first drive at their own 45.
Now, what this does, that touchdown by Rye gives Rye momentum. I mean, they're jacked up. They're pumped. That defense does not want to give Kennedy a first down. So you're going to see the Rat Pack go to work here. Now, on the other hand, Kennedy's going to have to fire out, establish the running game, and get some first downs.
Good job! Good job! And up the middle they go. Gales a little conservative in their play calling here early. And getting that football. 33, Don Papa, the senior fullback. He's a big one, 6'2", 220 pounds, picks up 1 yard.
He's a freight train runner, and he's running right up the middle, but he ran right into Roy Haney. Roy Haney, number 70. He's 6'1", 255 pounds. He's strong and he's quick, and he's a stalwart on that defensive line for Rye.
Got a penalty marker on the play. First pass is completed out to the flats. Craig Robeson has it, and he is forced out of bounds at the 40-yard line, but as I mentioned, there is a penalty marker on the play, and I believe it's going to go against the Gales. It looked like their split end, Jeff Haug, was moving before the snap, and that's going to negate that pass play and move it back 5 yards.
That was an excellent call by Middlestat because they're not successful running. There's the movement, offsides by the wide receiver. Okay, there was an excellent call in the flat. He was open. Now what Kennedy's going to have to do, they're going to have to run a couple more pass plays and see what Rye is playing. If they're in man-for-man coverage or zone, and then they can open up and play what we call a horizontal stretch. In other words, using sideline to sideline the entire field and sending 3 receivers out, possibly flooding a zone, and one of them would be open.
All right, illegal motion, the call against the Gales. Move it back 5 yards. It'll now be 2nd down and 13 from the 41-yard line. 1:35 and counting left to go first quarter. Rye leads 7-0. Jordian in motion. Murray rolls out that way. He's in trouble. Down he goes. Sack number 1 by the Garnets defense. Tom Cotaspoti and Gunnar Huber in on the sack.
Hi, Cable 3. Come here.
Gunnar Huber's, he's the captain of the team. He's a 3-year starter. Now you're going to see an honor roll student here make the stack. Right here, he makes the sack. Right there, honor roll student, excellent football player, number 60.
Gunnar Huber, senior, 6 feet, 190 pounds, drops Murray back at his own 30-yard line, and it is now 3rd and 23. Bob Murray, the senior, has got some work for him now. Little screen pass, incomplete. Just overthrew Jordian by a bit. Had a couple of blockers out in front of him, but it goes as an incompletion and will bring up 4th down. And again, the Garnets defense have done the job.
See, Rye's using an even defense. There'll be a 4 or a 6. And that last play, the success of this play is the pressure. Now watch Rye come in. There's a drop back by Murray. The pressure, see, he turned around. He still had a little bit more time, you know, throwing away a little bit too early. But again, the pressure of Rye, you know, they're the best defensive team in Section 1, giving up 31 points. They're awesome. You just have to be a tremendous offensive team to beat Rye.
Well, Doug Brady just able to get the kick away, not very long at all. Finally down at midfield. So Rye is going to get it back in excellent field position with just 50 yards to go for their 2nd score of the game, as we are down to 41 seconds left to play in quarter number 1, with the Garnets leading by a score of 7-0.
Now, defensively, Kennedy's going to have to watch the versatility of Rye. They will run the ball, they will pass. In other words, they're forcing that defense to be cognizant of every aspect of the game out there on the field. You have to cover the receivers, you have to watch off tackle, you have to watch the trap plays, you have to watch the isolations, the blast. So thoroughly mixed with Rye's offense.
Sal Giglio spins, goes down across the 50-yard line in the arms of John Carosa. Strong safety is now coming up to make the tackle, and Giglio will get a pickup of 2 more yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Carosa is one of the leading tacklers for JFK from that safety position. Once he reads Reed, he comes right up and makes the tackle on line of scrimmage, and he does wrap and he does bring people down.
All right, there's the end of the first quarter in our very first Section 1 Bowl Championship with the score, Rye 7 and JF Kennedy nothing. We'll return with more action from Memorial Field in Mount Vernon in just a moment.
Take a look at the hottest innovation in shopping since the invention of the charge card. Hey, you're watching...
Coach of Rye High School, his Garnets leading 7-0 in this Class B Section 1 Bowl Championship against the Gales of JF Kennedy. And the Garnets have it again, 2nd and 8 from their own 43-yard line, or from the Gales' 43-yard line. Riebling play action, throws across the middle and completes it. Mark Suroff, I believe, number 9. Yep, it's Suroff. He makes it good for a 1st down to the 31-yard line.
Boy, Riebling really impresses me on that play because he has tremendous faking. Once he gets the quarterback, once he gets the ball, he brings it right into his stomach. He's tight, his elbows are in, he's low. He executes the fake very well, and a half roll out to the left. He throws right on a button to Surha.
13-yard completion, 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Quinson, and he is wrapped up across the 30 down to the 28-yard line. Making that stop, James Fracula, number 44. And a gain for Quinson of 2 yards.
John, I think that Rye has gotten that Harrison game out of their system, and they also got out of the system not being matched with John Jay, because they're playing good, tremendous football out here. Hard hitting, they're aggressive, they're going right at Kennedy.
Opportunity for them tonight with a win to wrap up the #1 ranking among the small schools. Giglio with the call. And he is tripped up by Don Papa, number 33, at the bottom of the pile. And Giglio fights his way up to the 27-yard line, make it the 26. And from there, it'll be 3rd down and 5.
Now, Don Papa makes a good tackle right here. There's a quarterback. There's a reverse pivot. There's the eyes. See, Papa right there, he wraps his arms right around his legs so he cannot pump those pistons, twist, and get extra yardage. That's an excellent tackle by inside linebacker Dan Papa.
3rd and 5 for the Garnets. Play action by Riebling. Good protection. Throws over to Quinson. He can't hold on. And that is the first incompletion for Rye today, and I say that because Riebling was 3 for 3, and of course Surhoff had the 15-yard touchdown pass.
Now here's Riebling right here. There's the play action. He's going out. There's the ball's right there in his hands. Now a lot of times the back or the receiver going out for that ball, they see the ball coming in and he thinks it's going to come in there and stick like glue automatically. But the receiver must whip that ball into his hands, catch it, and then run with the ball. And a lot of receivers make that mistake. And once they get the idea of concentrating that ball right into your hands, as a coach, what you should do is get the football and put a number on it. Number 4, 5, 6, or whatever. And then you have about a dozen of these footballs, and you just have the quarterback throw one, and that receiver has to call out that number on the ball as it's coming into his hands. Now you are training them to concentrate right on that ball into their hands.
Well, Dino Garso, something he didn't like, he immediately called a timeout, his first. He'll have 2 more remaining. Let's take a look at the large school top 10. As we mentioned, Rye's in a good position to lock up the top bid. And tonight, after this ball game, we've got number 1 going up against number 2, North Rockland and Scarsdale. So that one will be for the large school championship, followed by Kingston, who will be in a bowl game later this weekend. Iona Prep, Fox Lane, White Plains, Roosevelt, Suffern, Mahopac, and Mount Vernon. So there's the large schools. So we may settle the number 1 rankings in one evening of football here at Memorial Field. All right, timeout over. It is now 4th and 5 for the Garnets. The ball is at the Kennedy 26-yard line. Riebling play action. Sets up a little screen. It is complete. Joe King has it, and I do not believe he picked up the first down. Looks like he was upended just before he got to the 20-yard line, and the way the stakes are set, he had to get to the 21 to pick up that first down.
That was a super tackle, right? Okay, here's Riebling right there to fake. The 2 backs are blocking. There's the catch, the King. Watch this out. Boom! Right there. What a hit. What a devastating hit.
All right, it's close enough to bring out the chains for our first measurement of the day. I'm going to take a guess here. I don't think he got it. No, he didn't get it. He's about a half a yard shy.
Good eyes, John. Good eyes.
Big defensive play there by the Gales as they finally are able to stop the Garnets. And on the change of possession, we'll get it 1st and 10 from their own 21-yard line.
Now this may give Kennedy a little momentum. You know, they stopped the Rye. They just have to get a couple of first downs, get in good field position, and get their offense working, because they do have the run and shoot offense to spread everybody out and start completing some of those passes.
10 minutes left to go, 2nd quarter, 7-0 the score. Rye on top. Murray, he's going to go to the air, throws it, and it is completed. Making the reception, number 84, Jeff Hogue, the split end, a senior, 6'2", 170 pounds. And he gets the ball across the 25 up to the 28-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 2. 8-yard completion now. First of the day for Murray.
Kennedy's doing the same thing that Rye's doing. They're giving the play action from that I formation. Now you see right here, here's Kennedy. There's a little fake to the tailback, and then he throws right out in the flat for an excellent completion.
Did that look like a little flea flicker being set up there to you?
Yeah, possibly. But I was up at Kennedy, and Murray, the quarterback, has a strong arm. He can throw it 60 yards.
All right, here's the big back for the Gales. Haven't seen too much of him so far in the ball game. Joe Jordian, senior, 6 feet, 205 pounds. And he picks up the first down of the day for the Gales as he gets it up to the 33-yard line.
Now here's Gordian right here. Over 1,100 yards rushing. You see good foot drive. He's in the mud right there. If the mud wasn't there, a good footing, that you would see those legs just keep driving for an extra yardage. Once you don't have traction, then it's hard. You start slipping and you go down a little bit easier.
Jeff Hay goes split out to the top of the screen, number 84. Right there! Murray gives the football away, and it's off to the fullback, Don Papa. And the senior close to the 40-yard line. They'll put it at the 39. And all of a sudden, the Gales starting to open it up just a bit as Papa picks up, we'll call it 7 yards.
Papa's a 3-year starter, 6'2", 220 pounds. He's a freight train runner. He'll run right over you, on top of you, any way he can pick up the yardage. You can see about 5-6 Rye defenders in there on the tackle. But this is what Kennedy needs. They need momentum. They have to get a couple of first downs, good field position.
2nd down and 3. Jordan, he has the first down, gets it to the outside, and is up to the Gale 48-yard line. 9-yard pickup.
Now here's Gory in that tailback right there. He sees the opening. Good little foot move right there. Get to extra yardage. Now they're in field position. Now I wouldn't be surprised if they start opening up and start throwing that short pass. Now, they did throw 2 passes. And the coach for Kennedy, I'm sure, John, probably wanted to find out exactly what kind of coverage Rye is in. Once he finds out that Rye's in zone coverage, he may flood his zone. He may put 3 men in that one zone, and 1 man may be open, and that's usually the man that's in the flat.
Oh, we had officials timeout, a little equipment check, and now the clock is rolling again. 7:50 to go, 2nd quarter. Gales with their best drive of the ball game. Murray still has the football on the option, takes it himself. Good move as he found the opening. Garnets went for Jordan on the pitch, and Murray kept it himself, got it across midfield, and for the first time in the ball game, the Gales are in Rye territory, up to the Rye 47-yard line.
Yeah, you're going to see the option right here. Here he's running, he reads, he sees that defensive end or the outside linebacker, whoever was out there was going for the pitch man. So now the quarterback just turns it right up and picks up the yardage.
Harry Duffy now is the split end to the near side. 2nd and 3. Guardian again. And everybody just kind of pushes him along across the 45 to the 42-yard line. And that'll be good for another first down.
That's a blast play from the I formation. You have the fullback leading, Papa. He's a good, strong blocker going over right tackle. You're going to see right there. There's Papa leading it. Over right tackle, there's Gordian just driving. And again, 4 or 5 men have to bring him down. That's where Kennedy is strong. They're strong from tackle to tackle. They're bigger, they're a little bit stronger, they have the speed, and they will jam it right down your throat. They'll just keep running and running, not make any mistakes, execute, and hoping to get right in there in the end zone for a TD.
From the 41-yard line. Outlet pass complete. Jeff Hay, and he is close to another Gale first down. Brought down on the play by Alex Wicklund, the cornerback, number 25. And they'll take a close look at the change. Yes, an 11-yard pass completion. First down, number 4.
Here's a quick pass to the wide receiver. Here's Murray. There it is. There's a little bit of run and shoot. It's just 3 steps, a great reception. And all the wide receiver does, he goes down about 4 steps, full speed, drives the defensive man back, turns around, faces the ball, catches.
From the 31-yard line, 1st and 10, back to the ground game. And this is Don Papa to the 30-yard line, just a 1-yard gain there. But again, Coach, as you mentioned, Gale's doing exactly what Rye did, mixing up the offense. Pass, run, pass, run.
That's exactly what they're doing, and now they got good field position. They have the drive going. Now the momentum has shifted to Kennedy's side. Now, down here, you don't want any mistakes. You don't want a fumble, an interception, or anything. It has to be smooth running machine.
Quick outlet pass again, and again it is completed. Craig Ropeson, the wingback, out of the backfield to the 25-yard line. 3-yard gain only on the pass completion. Good defensive surge by the Garnets.
And here again we have the play where the quarterback is getting the ball and the receivers are just driving down full speed about 4 yards and stopping. And then you see him right there. He turns, faces the quarterback, and that's an excellent reception. Now, Kennedy probably has noticed or found out that Rye is in zone coverage, so they're driving the defenders back, which leaves the man open short.
Jordan in motion. Murray looking his way, but comes right across the middle, and the pass is incomplete. Harry Duffy just couldn't hold on to it. If he brought it in, it would be good for a first down, but instead it will be 4th and 4 for the Gales.
Here's an excellent pattern. Right here, the man goes in motion. Now the motion man goes out, and the wide receiver comes in. Right there was the ball. It was thrown low, right at his hips. He should have had it. That's right. I just mentioned it before. You can't make any mistakes right here. Anything that hits your hands has to be caught.
4th and 4. Murray wants to put it up. Across the middle, completes. Jordan has it. Spun backwards, but we'll have to see where the spot is on his forward progress, and it looks like it'll be enough for a first down. It is. Jordan got the ball to the 20-yard line.
You see what Kennedy's doing? They're hitting all their passes short because the men are being driven back for right. The defenders there, right over the middle. You see, he's right in front of the linebacker. That was Quinson, number 44. Yeah, right in front of Quinson to come up with that reception.
1st and 10. The Gales are rolling. Jordan, nowhere to go. Racked up at the line of scrimmage.
And that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to wrap your arms around those legs so there isn't any leg movement for any kind of power. Right here, the defensive Rye rose to the occasion. Okay, number 7 is in there again. That's Roy Haney. Strong, powerful, and now Rye is going to have to rise to the occasion defensively.
2nd down and 10. Murray with a play action. Throws it up, and it's intercepted. Well, you said no mistakes, and that's a major one right there. Colin Henney, number 21, the strong safety, stepped in front of the intended receiver, Mark Jacobs, and the Garnets get it back.
You can't make a mistake. They had an excellent drive. They're getting close to the goal line. And I said before, you can't have a fumble, you can't have an interception. And Rye, again, you know, it's just like Rye is bending, but they're not breaking. They're coming up with the big play. That's the difference between a good ball player and a great ball player. The great ball player will come up with a big play.
So Rye gets it 1st and 10 from their own 4-yard line. Riebling will take no chances as he keeps it on the ground. We're coming up to our 4-minute warning. And let's see, Quinson got the call and didn't get anything. Right back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Now, you don't want to do anything fancy down here. You don't want to have a pitch or an option or anything. It's going to have to be isolation, off tackle, power, anything, because you don't want that ball to be exchanged too many times, because there is a possibility of a fumble or pressure being applied by Kennedy's defensive line that can cause the fumble. You just want to grind it out. This is what you call football in the pits. It's tough football, and it has to be no mistakes again.
As Ray mentioned during the pregame show, you're watching the best defensive unit in all of Section 1 tonight, that being the Garnets of Rye. In 9 ball games this season, only have given up 31 points. And if my math is right, that's less than 4 points a ball game.
The defensive individuals out there, they play like a unit. They're a team. They play together. It seems like one individual knows what the other individual's assignment is, and they just cover for each other, and they come up with that big play. And that's why they're the best defense. That's why they're the Rat Pack defense.
2nd down and 10. Riebling gives the football away. This is Newman. And Newman just maybe a yard, and that's it, as all of a sudden the Gales defense has come alive. And one more play here, and they may get this ball back in pretty good field position in the final few moments of this first half.
That's exactly what Kennedy wants to do. They do not want Rye to get a first down. They want Rye in a punting situation, and then what they can do is they can send all 10 men, apply pressure on the punter for Rye, just only have 1 man deep, and hoping for a block punt or any kind of mistake back there so that they could go in there to score before half.
All right, again, another official timeout on the field, some equipment repair. James Fracula had to get his jersey repaired, and now we're back to action. There's the folks getting set for halftime festivities over at the snack bar. And Rye now comes up facing a 3rd down and 9 from their own 5-yard line. And Riebling still with the football. Play action. Lots of time. Across the middle. Completes it to Surhoff. Good for the first down. Across the 15-yard line. Up to the 20. 15-yard pass completion.
Boy, that Surhoff's an excellent receiver. What an athlete Surhoff. Here we have Riebling. barking the count. There's a little play action. Okay, see, he's looking. He has good protection, and there's Surhoff for the reception. Right there, Kennedy had to apply pressure. You apply pressure on that quarterback, and then he doesn't have that time to see the receiver, to set up properly, and to throw that ball right into the receiver's stomach.
Bill Deegan made the tackle as the Garnets back to the ground game. And this time it is Chris Quinson. And Quinson picks up 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7 with 2:25 left to go. There's our score. Rye leading Kennedy 7-0. The only touchdown coming in the first quarter at 2:36. A 15-yard halfback option. Mark Surhoff to Tommy Armas. The extra point was good, and that's all the scoring we've had today. Rye holding on to the football as they have for most of this half. Riebling will give it away. Giglio, and he bursts his head across the 30-yard line up to the 31, and that'll be good for another first down. Pickup of 9.
That was a kick-out play. The fullback, Quinson, what he did, he kicked out the defensive end, and Giglio ran right off his tail to pick up that extra yardage and a first down. That's where the fullback is a tremendous runner and a blocker. You'll see right here. Now watch Quincy the fullback. See him kick out that end? Kick him out. And then the hole opens up and you pick up the extra yardage.
James Fracula on the tackle, number 44. 1st and 10 for the Garnets. Riebling again looking to throw. Puts it up, completes it to Tommy Armas, or pardon me, Joe King, number 7. And King is across the 35-yard line up to the 37. And that will be a gain of 5 yards, and the Garnets will have it 2nd and 5.
Now this Riebling is only a sophomore. Look at this. Look how he sets up. The ball's thrown right there, perfect in the hands. Joe King with the reception had to be brought down by 3 men. Only a sophomore, and he shows great poise, a good arm, sets up, he's on balance, steps into the pass play, executes well.
Second timeout taken by the Gales.
And again, we talk about Riebling, only a sophomore, so Dino's going to have him for 2 more years. But you look at Surhoff this first half, he had some key receptions. I mean, what an athletic family.
Yeah.
I mean, his brother was at North Carolina, written up in, his father played for the Knickerbockers. His brother was at North Carolina.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because Surhoff down in North Carolina for 2 years in a row was the ACC Baseball Player of the Year. And no, that's not his father. Our director who went to Rye is trying to pull the wool over our eyes.
No,
that's the last time we listened to him.
Yeah, his older brother, and also he was written up in Sports Illustrated as one of the top, I mean, you know, this is something to say, one of the top athletes to ever come out of North Carolina. Now, you're talking about Jordan came out of North Carolina.
That's right.
You know, Lawrence Taylor, all these great football players. So Surhoff, now he was drafted #1 by Milwaukee, and I hope to see him in a major.
I'm sure you're going to.
Because I remember we played against him. He was a sophomore. He beat us. He scored 2 touchdowns. He's a great athlete.
2nd down and 5. Right up the middle they go. Quinson, the fullback. And Quinson close to the 49-yard line. He'll have it up. Good for another first down. Or make that the 44-yard line.
17.
So another 7 yards by the big fullback. First down, number 8 for the Garnets, and they'll go with a hurry-up offense with 1:15 left to play in the first half. Riebling, straight drop back. Again, good protection. Throws a little high, and it's incomplete. Surhoff, the intended receiver, right at midfield. So that will stop the clock. 1:07 left to play in the first half. Rye leading 7-0.
The pass was thrown high, John, but the success of this passing game that Rye has is the offensive linemen. They are giving Riebling such good pass protection. I mean, they just form a wall there. It's like a wall of concrete. No one can get through it. I think what they're going to have to do a little bit, Kenny, they're going to have to gamble and maybe blitz a linebacker in there.
Quick opener. Quinson brings it to the outside. Cuts it back inside and goes down at the Gales' 41-yard line. 14-yard pickup for Chris Quinson, and quickly Rye will take another timeout to stop the clock.
Now here's Riebling barking out the count right there. Just a quick dive right up the middle. He's got quick feet, Quincy. Look at him drive. You just have to wrap your arms around those legs because he'll just drag it. You know, the man's pulling on the jersey, but that was a great run, quick dive right up the middle.
All right, we've got some other games. As we mentioned, there are a total of 8 Section 1 bowl games to be played, and most of them you'll be able to see right here on Cable 3, including our nightcap tonight, Scarsdale against North Rockland. Then we'll have Peekskill against Byram Hills, Roosevelt versus Kingston. Our next Cable 3 game will be Pauling, the Tigers against Irvington, the Bulldogs. Then John Jay against Portchester. That looks like to be a great matchup. We'll also have for you Suffern versus Fox Lane, and as always, Dobbs Ferry against Bronxville, and that should be a whale of a ball game. And also coming up on Thanksgiving Day, the 2nd annual Coaches Bowl, which this year will be played up at Mahopac High School as the Indians play host to the Warriors of Our Lady of Lords. Mahopac, of course, making their 2nd straight appearance in the Coaches Bowl. Last year beaten by Mamaroneck 7-0.
And
so they'll be looking for a little revenge.
For Lords, they have Gordon at quarterback, who has thrown for 18 touchdown passes. That ought to be a good game.
1st and 10. Riebling play action. Looks like a screen to be set up. Heavy pressure is on, and Riebling had to get that ball away in a hurry because James Fracula was part of Riebling's jersey.
That's exactly what I said they had to do. They had to apply pressure, and you're going to see Kennedy coming right here with the pressure. Look at them break right through. There it is, almost a sack. You see, when you apply that pressure, the quarterback cannot really set up and see his receiver and get that ball thrown quickly.
I could do for a little popcorn if somebody wants to go down there. Boy, that looks like to be the warmest place in this field right now. All right, a penalty marker on the play. Holding is the call against the Garnets. So that will be their 2nd penalty. Another 10-yarder. Brings it back into Rye territory at the 48-yard line. And from there, it'll be 1st and 20. Riebling up the middle again on a quick opener. Quinson busts away from one tackle and gets it to the Gales' 44-yard line. 2nd down and 13, so Quinson give him another 7 yards. Clock still rolling, 40 seconds left till the intermission. And the Garnets lead 7-0 on a halfback option touchdown pass. Surhoff to Armas with 2:36 left in the 1st period.
Now Rye's in a power I right formation.
Riebling again. He's in trouble. Gets it away again just before James Fracula, the defensive end, got to him. That's the 2nd time he has been right in the face of Riebling. So Dino Gar's got to make a little adjustment there. Bob Middlestad already made the adjustment. That's why Fracula is all wide open.
That's Middlestad did a great adjustment. He probably told his guys, you got to apply pressure, really come hard, and not give the quarterback a chance to throw the ball.
Nancy Green has made it to the ball game today, our executive producer. She brought us cookies. Terrific. She didn't bake them, though. She went out and bought them. I don't know about that.
They're not homemade? Give them to Tony, then.
Thank you, Nancy. 3rd down and 12. Riebling again. Across the middle. Complete. No, incomplete. Tommy Armas just couldn't hold on to the football. So that is just the 3rd incompletion thrown by Riebling. And the clock now stopped with 17 seconds left, and it will be 4th and 13 for the Garnets.
Come on, all right.
And it looks like the Garnets are going to go for it. Riebling comes up. We may see a quick kick here. Nope, Riebling drops back. Looking down the sidelines, completes it to Joe King. King heads backwards, and because of that, lost any opportunity to pick up the 1st down. As the ball comes up to the 36-yard line, he had to get it to the 33 to pick up that 1st down. So the Gales will get it back with just 9 seconds left to go.
Now with 9 seconds left, Rye's defensive backs are going to have to play 15, 20 yards off the line of scrimmage. And the #1 rule is don't let anyone get behind you. That's the major rule. No one get behind you. Let the man stay in front. If there is a completion, then they could make the tackle. But right now, time ran out, and that's the end of the first half.
The Gales could not get a play off, and everybody's going to head to the locker room as Rye will go in with the 7-0 lead over the J.F. Kennedy Gales. And in just a moment after this short break, we'll return to Memorial Field with a look at the halftime tally, our scoring page, and the festivities galore as we continue with the Bowl Championships here at Cable 3. John Carrillo along with Ray Karowski enjoying a very good Section 1 Bowl Championship. Central Conference Class B is being showcased this evening with the Garnets of Rye leading the Gales of J.F. Kennedy by a score of 7-0. And in just a few moments, we'll take a look at the stat page and our scoring sheet. We had anticipated the bands being out here to entertain the folks, but I believe because of the early start of today's game, bands just couldn't get it together. So that gives us an opportunity to again take a look at the top 10s for both the large and the small schools and to preview a little bit the matchups that'll be coming up the rest of this weekend in the Section 1 Bowl Championships. First of all, we'll start with the small schools. There you see Rye, number 1, taking on J.F. Kennedy at number 6. So there's our first top 10 matchup. Our second one will be coming up later on tomorrow. Could I have that again, please, if you don't mind? Thank you. The Portchester Rams at 8-0-1, ranked number 2. They're going to be taking on our number 4 team, the Indians of John Jay, who again are 9-0 on the season. They were 9-0 a year ago as well, but lost to Rye in a bowl game 7-1. So Jim Capalbo, their head coach, will be looking for his first undefeated season and will have to do it in a bowl game, but this time against the Rams of Portchester. Rich Albanizio, their head coach, and what an explosive offense they have. We're really looking forward to seeing that game. Our next top 10 matchup will be coming up tomorrow afternoon as we feature the Irvington Bulldogs at number 3, undefeated 9-0. Great ball game last week against the Broncos of Bronxville, 13-6 on a last-second touchdown pass, Rob Conklin to Tim Roy. Now the Bulldogs will be taking on League 10 champ, the Tigers of Pauling. And we found out that's a little bit north of New York City and a little bit south of Albany, somewhere up in there. The Tigers coming in with a record of 8-1, so that's our next matchup there. As we mentioned, Bronxville also in a bowl game. They'll be taking on the number 7 Dobbs Ferry Eagles. Bronxville and Dobbs Ferry, that'll be the final bowl game Monday night. The Broncos at 7-2, Dobbs Ferry also at 7-2, and those teams match up very nicely. Rhinebeck did not get into a bowl game this year, as did Harrison at number 9, but the Bobcats of Byram Hills will be in a bowl game later on this weekend. The Bobcats will be taking on Peekskill, and that'll be the first game Saturday morning at 11 a.m. So there you see, we've got a lot of real fine schools, all who have spent most of the season in our top 10s, and they'll be meeting up a little later on in this weekend. Now, moving over to the large schools, we also have some top 10 matchups there. As a matter of fact, our next ball game this evening, number 1 goes up against number 2. North Rockland takes on Scarsdale. Number 3, Kingston, will also be involved in a bowl championship. The Tigers will take on the Indians of Roosevelt, who are coming into this weekend's action, ranked number 7. Iona Prep, of course, as you know, has one ball game left Thanksgiving Day against New Rochelle. They'll go in as the number 4 team. Fox Lane at number 5. They've got a bowl game coming up that you'll see here at Cable 3. They will meet our number 9 team, the Mounties of Suffern High School. White Plains, how about them? What a roller coaster year they had. The Tigers finished up at 5-3. They have one more game remaining. That'll be Thanksgiving Day against the Crusaders of Stepanak. Mayapack, as we told you earlier, will be in the Coaches Bowl against Our Lady of Lourdes, and the Knights of Mount Vernon, their season is over. They'll finish at number 10 with a record of 6-3. So there you have our matchups as the bowl games get underway in full swing. We'll take a short break here at Memorial Field at Mount Vernon and return with a look at the halftime tally and our scoring page when the Cable 3 Section 1 championships continue to begin in this Class B Bowl Championship. All right, the J.F. Kennedy Gales are back out onto the field. The Rye Garnets now just appearing out of the locker room. And before we get the second half underway, let's show you the numbers that the teams put up in that first 12 minutes or 24 minutes.
Some people can't tell when it hits them.
45 yards rushing. Joe Jordan leads the way with 28. The passing department, Bob Murray was 4 of 6 for 28 yards, a grand total of 73. So you see the Garnets defense indeed doing the job. The Garnets with 92 yards rushing. Chris Quinson leads the way with 54 yards. Two passers in the ball game, Steve Riebling and Mark Surhoff, a combined 7 of 13 for 85 yards. What a balanced attack. They are at 177 total yards. 5 first downs for J.F. Kennedy, 9 for Rye. We had only by Murray. Garnets have held on to the football. Boy, that pizza looks good. And the Gales with the time of possession, 11:25 to 12:35 for the Rye Garnets. The only scoring what we had in the ball game came at 2:36 in the first quarter on a halfback option. Mark Surhoff finding Tommy Armas all alone in the end zone. And on a 15-yard pass, the extra point was good. And that's our score right there. Rye leads J.F. Kennedy by a count of 7-0. As Steve Riebling warms up along the sidelines, we'll take another short break and then return with second half action of this Class B Bowl Championship with Rye leading Kennedy by a score of 7 in this Class B Bowl Championship. The Central Conference spotlighted this evening, and the Garnets of Rye leading the JF Gales by a score of 7-0. Those folks huddling to get away from the wind. It's a bit brisk out there. I'm wondering how Chris Chulo is doing up in our scaffold. Can we get a quick shot of him? See what he looks like? Is he still alive up there? I bet he's shivering. He's in the highest part of the ballpark. There he is. Oh, he's bundled up. Chris, are you all right? Yes, he is. He's freezing. What a trooper. And Chris, who you might remember in our New Rochelle, Clarkstown North ball game, Chris made the catch of the year on a field goal as he made the grab. Couldn't catch any in our pickup games, but he's doing a fine job during the game. All right, the second half is underway. Garnets will get the football. This one bounces away, and it is finally down, finally, by Tommy Armas all the way back at the 3-yard line. What a break that is to start the second half for J.F. Kennedy. I don't know if Giglio touched this or not, but Armas is finally the man who's got to get a hand on it, and he had a little trouble bringing it down.
Yeah, he kicked it with his foot. That's a live ball, because the impetus did not go into the end zone. If it would have come out on a 20.
All right, again, we refresh your memory at quarterback, Steve Riebling, the sophomore. The fullback will be Chris Quinson. Sal Giglio's the tailback. Tommy Armas, the wingback. And the split end is number 9, Mark Surhoff. 1st and 10 from the 3-yard line of Rye. And this will be Giglio. Up to the 5-second effort, gets it up to the 7-yard line, and Giglio will get 4 more yards, which now gives him 37 total on the day. On the offensive line for the Garnets, Brian O'Mara anchors it at the center spot. The two guards are Gunnar Huber and Tom Leary. The tackles, Mark Weintraub, Tom Codispoti, and the tight end number 81 is John Thompson. Defensively, for the J.F. Kennedy Gales, they have the 5-man front. James Fracula, Jim Lambertus, Tom Courtney, Pat Donovan, and the other end is Dan McNamara. 2nd down and 6. Ball at the 7-yard line. And up the middle they go. Chris Quinson, who bursts away from a couple tackles, gets the first down across the 15 up to the 17-yard line. Pickup of 10 for Quinson, and he now has 64 yards rushing in the ball game. And we'll set the rest of the defensive lineup for the Gales. The deep backs, Joe Jordian, Don Papa, Tony Forte, Walt Rapklis, John Carrozza, and Bill Deegan are the 2 safeties. So Rye keeping it on the ground early. 2nd straight possession they've had inside their own 5-yard line, but now they've got some working room at their own 17. Full house backfield for the Garnets. Riebling gives it away. Giglio across the 20-yard line, and he burns the Gale defense for a pickup of 6 yards. And Rye's got it 2nd down and 4. And again, Coach, that offensive line just doing a nice job.
They're just firing off that ball and beating the defensive line at the snap. They're just exploding. Their legs are like car springs, and as soon as that ball is snapped, they just lunge at you, make the contact, and drive you back. And that's where they're picking up the yardage. Right there in the pits, the linemen.
2nd and 4. Just under 10 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Rye leads 7-0. Riebling again puts it on the ground. Giglio with the call, the tailback bounces off of one tackle, but no one there. Ball comes loose, but our officials rule the play dead. Dead at the 24-yard line. 1 yard gain.
He was stopped. Giglio was stopped in his tracks. The second man coming in making hit. There's the kick out by the fullback. Now he bounces to the outside. See, he's not making any forward progress. He's being knocked back. He's had 3 men on him. He was hit by the third man, and the ball was jarred loose, so it's no fumble. The 3 men were driving him back 4 or 5 yards.
3rd down and 3. From the 24-yard line. And Riebling wants to put it up to Quinson, incomplete. Second time that Quinson has been unable to hold the football. We got a penalty marker. And it looks like an unsportsmanlike conduct. I'm not exactly sure against who. But those flags went down in a hurry. See if we can pick it up here after the play is over.
It's a little bootleg pass.
Oh, there you go. Mark Surhoff. He just, I don't know what got into him, but he took John Carosa and threw him down to the turf. And that's going to be a big penalty against the Garnets. Personal foul against Rye. And, oh my, I don't believe it. Is he nuts or what?
No, these football coaches are tough.
They're crazy.
They're not worried about the cold. They're involved in strategy. You're a field general out there. You have to make sure that your troops are doing everything perfectly well.
No.
You can't be worried about the cold. But in a game like this, you have to maintain your poise. You can't lose control of your temper, because any little play right here could mean a ball game. It's a close ball game. It's a well-played ball game, and it's only 7 points. It could turn around immediately.
All right, the personal foul came after the play was over, so it will be 4th down. 4th and 15, and it looks like Rye's going to go for it from the 11-yard line.
It's going to be a quick kick. The shift.
Oh, they're looking for the shift, trying to pull the Gales off sides. Here's the pitch back. King gets away. Oh, what a kick! Sails over the head of Robeson, takes a bounce, and they're going to... Kennedy picked it up. I don't know why, but Robeson able to hold on to the football. That's a 65-yard punt by Joe King on a quick kick.
That's an excellent punt right here. They shift right from outside. Watch Joe King gets his foot into this one right over the head of the defender. Now, he didn't catch it. Stay away from it. He picks it up, which was a dangerous move right there, because he may not have had good control of that ball, and he would have been hit. He could have fumbled, and Rye would have ended up with the ball. If you don't catch it, stay away from the ball.
All right, Bob Murray brings the club up 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line. They trail 7-0, and they'll give the football away. James Fracula, and he bursts all alone down to the 30-yard line. Nobody's going to get him. He is gone.
Comeback.
No penalty markers. Touchdown, Kennedy.
After that exceptional punt, Kennedy does not get down. They have the momentum. They come right off, and they go for a touchdown right down the sideline.
68-yard run. And this is the first carry by Fracula in the ball game.
Right on the middle. He's running to the outside. He has the sideline. All he has is the goal line. He's got to go full speed all the way. Goes in for the score. Now, here's a big decision right here. Do you go for the extra point to tie it, or do you go for 2 to win it? Because this is a defensive battle. They're going for 2.
Murray brings the club up. Gale's looking to take the lead. Murray still has it. Cuts it back inside. He's not going to get in. But a penalty marker is down. Tony Sabella, our referee, dropped the flag just as Murray was heading down to the turf. The Garnets are coming back off the field, so it looks like it's going to go against the Gales. Holding against J.F. Kennedy, so they'll assess that. Or, pardon me, Rye is going to... That's right, they'll assess the penalty on the kickoff, but there it is again.
There's the pressure by Rye. You see how they close that hole? They come from the outside, the inside, right, left. There's nowhere to run. They just slammed the door on Murray right there, so he wouldn't get that 2-point play conversion.
Whoa! 7-6 our score. James Fracula of J.F. Kennedy, his 8th touchdown of the year, and this a beauty, 68-yard run. And as soon as he breaks it to the outside, There's absolutely no way they're going to get him. Even Bob DeMichael couldn't catch him.
And he's a defensive end, and they just put him in a backfield, and he just shoots right through the middle. He sees a little opening to the outside, goes all the way down the sideline for a score. Tremendous run. Now, the Rat Pack defense of Rye, I imagine they're a little bit upset on that because I know that they do love shutouts. But this Kennedy Ball Club is a tough ball club. They came to hit. They're on full collision course in this game. And knowing that it's a good defensive game, that's why they went for 2, because they could go away a winner. 8-7. But there's a lot of time remaining and much to be seen.
Well, as you coaches would say, Big Mo, momentum has changed.
Yeah, momentum is going back and forth in this game. Rye has it, then Kennedy has it. See, these are championship caliber teams. They're not giving up. They're going right down to the wire.
All right, this kick sails away from everybody, and it just does get into the end zone. So that's an automatic touchback. Joe King waited and was hoping, I'm sure, for it to go in, which it did. So Rye will get it back, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. However, they now lead 7-6 with 8:22 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Well, that got the folks up on their feet. As a matter of fact, right down below us on the Rye side is a rather large contingent of Portchester Rams. And I think they were just as pleased as anybody on the other side of the field after that touchdown run, because they also have a shot at being the #1 team among the small schools. And our Rye contingent in the truck, very quiet as the Garnets bring the ball up 1st and 10.
This is a great ball game.
Not bad.
Tremendous and well-played, hard-hitting game.
Riebling. And Saltillo, rather, 32 with the ball, up to the 25-yard line. Now, very important here, I would think, for Dino Carr and the Rye offense not to panic, because, as you said, there is a lot of time. They were just burnt for a big touchdown, but they have plenty of time and have to go back to what got them that 7-0 lead.
That's right. They're going to have to grind it out here to get the 1st down. And again, they're going to have to mix it up. They're going to have to throw the passes into the flat, because now Kennedy is really jamming up that middle tight. The defensive line from tackle to tackle is toughening up.
Pick up 4 yards on that last carry, and now the Garnets starting to burn some holes. Giglio again picks up another 1st down up to the 34-yard line as he gets 10 more yards. That's the 10th 1st down of the day for the Garnets, and the drive continues.
He's such an intense runner. Look at him right here. He gets the boys like galloping through that line, and it just seems like when he gets tackled, he gets mad. He doesn't want to get tackled. He just wants to keep driving and going right to that goal line.
From the 34-yard line, 1st and 10, 7.5 left to go, 3rd quarter. Rye leads 7-6. Riebling again, long snap count. Football to Giglio. Looks for a hole to open up. Nothing there at all. Down he goes at the 35. Did get 1 yard on it. Coming up at the bottom of the pile is Joe Jordan and number 40, John Carrozza.
Here's the defensive line. Look at them fire now. You got to stay low when you fire up. See, he's trying to find an opening. He couldn't find an opening, so he stutter steps. He wants to see that daylight so he can burst right through there. But the opening wasn't there. Now, number 50 on that defensive line, Tom Courtney, is 6 foot 215, and Jim Lambertus is 6 foot 220. They're the best linemen for Kennedy. They're tough, and they're holding that like a concrete wall. 2nd and 9. Play action by Riebling.
Good protection. Throws down the sidelines and overthrows his intended receiver, Joe King. Right there on the coverage, Walt Brabiklis, number 42, the junior cornerback. And it will bring up a 3rd down and 9.
Now, Kennedy has a combination. He'll go zone or man for man. Now, there's a little play action. Now, it's thrown over his head. There's no way anyone could have gotten that, so there's no pass interference called. But what Kennedy is doing, they're mixing it up. Sometimes they're showing man-for-man coverage, and they're showing zone coverage. So you have to be careful, you know, throwing the ball, because you're not sure exactly what they're in. And when the ball is released, there may be a man right on it for an interception.
3rd and 9. Riebling again. Back to throw. Overshoots Giglio. And, Coach, I think that maybe the sophomore is rushing a little bit. He had Giglio open along the sidelines across the 40-yard line and just overshot him.
Yeah, I think also what happened, maybe at halftime, Okay, let's look at this first, right here. Here's a little play action. Now he does have kind of protection. It is thrown high. But again, at halftime, Middlestad for Kennedy probably told his guys, we have to apply pressure. We have to get back in that offensive backfield. We have to make things happen.
All right, Joe King said back to punt. Again, they go, or Armas rather, they give him the quick kick. And another spiral and a beauty. Robeson picks it off at his own 25. And down he goes at the 27-yard line.
Let's go!
Tommy Armas, or pardon me, number 74 for the Garnets, getting down there in a hurry to make that stop. Mark Weintraub. 6:19 to go. There you get a look at Robeson, the D-back, and this one kind of shoots right at him on a line drive.
And that's what he has to do. He has to catch that ball on the fly. He does the right thing here. Up, catching it. Okay.
All right, we go back to live action. And they gave the ball to Jordian again. And Jordian got a yard, and that's it. It'll be second down and 9. 5:50 left to go, third quarter. It's 7-6. Rye leading the Gales.
Now, Rye has not lost the game all last year and this year.
Murray to throw, completes it, making the reception. Harry Duffy, number 80, senior tight end. And on the completion, they're going to give him 7 yards.
There's a little play action. The ball's thrown right there in the stomach, and that's exactly what the receiver has to do. He has to turn, face that quarterback so the ball comes right to him. This way your back, and behind you is the defender. And then when he does come up, he's just going to hit you in the back, but you still come up with the reception.
Right up the middle, nothing there at all. Well, they tried to give it away to Francula, number 44, and he ran into the stone wall, otherwise known as Roy Haney.
That's right, Roy Haney, 6'1", 255 pounds. Here it is, boom, right there. Now, you're not going to go through him. He's also a great wrestler, and he'll go to the States in the super heavyweight division. He did last year. He's strong. Syracuse is interested in him, and I think that he would make a good offensive center in college.
4.5 minutes left, third quarter. And the Gales were forced to punt it away. Brady, it's blocked. And it'll be recovered by the Garnets, and they'll have excellent position at the 21-yard line of JF Kennedy.
See that? Applying pressure. That's all it is. You apply pressure, get in that offensive backfield, and you come up with a block punt. Excellent field position now for Rye. Going in for another score. They can slam the door here.
We'll take another look and see. You try the rush of the line, and you can't see who made the block, but there you see the recovery. So Rye has it first and 10 from the Gales' 23-yard line, leading by a point. Riebling gives off to Giglio, breaks it to the outside, and he's still on his feet. I thought they had him corralled for a 1-yard gain, but instead the second effort of Giglio will give him a pickup of 8 yards.
Second effort and excellent balance. You are not down until your knee touches the ground. Now there's Giglio right there, bouncing to the outside. He is not down. He has his balance, maintains it, and picks up extra yardage. Extra effort and balance.
Second down and 2 now from the 15-yard line. Giglio again has the first down. He gets to the 10-yard line. 5 more yards. First down number 11 by the Garnets. And this important drive remains alive.
There's Giglio right there at tailback. You see him. He's going to get the ball. It's an isolation play or a blast going through. Now, Right here, you have to be hungry. An offensive team inside the 20-yard line must score. That's what a coach practices for. He has goal line plays. You want to score. That's what you call being hungry. On the other side, defensively, this is what you call rising to the occasion. You have to come up with a big play. You have to make a good solid hit so the ball is jarred loose, a fumble, or either a goal line stand, one or the other. So it's strategy on one side against strategy against the other, and someone's going to have to come through on top.
Here's Pat Burke and Becky Petfield manning our field camera this evening. I don't think they're as cold as Chris Chulo up in the scaffold, but I'm sure they'd like to argue a little bit. And you want to see what Pat Burke is looking at? That's what he's looking at. He's right down there on the play. Hasn't been hit all year long. That may be the kiss of death right there. Remains to be seen. 3:07 left. That last timeout taken by J.F. Kennedy, their first. Here in the second half, Quinson, quick opener, and Quinson keeps his feet moving, and will get it up to the 7-yard line. Now, Rye can pick up a first down without getting the touchdown, as the drive started at the 11, or the play started at the 11-yard line, so they can get to the 1 and get the first down without getting the touchdown.
Now here's a quick dive right there. Right, Quinson has it quickly. They have a little action in the backfield behind him to get the defensive ends not to crash down inside and help out on a tackle.
2nd down and 4. Riebling will give it to Giglio. And again, the second effort. As we told you when we saw him against Eastchester and here tonight, he just will not be denied. You can't expect him to go down on that first hit. And that's one thing that Kennedy is learning very painfully at this point.
He runs with a burning desire to score right there. See, you just have to wrap him, and you can't make a good tackle on him. A good tackle is when you make the hit and the runner ends up on his back, but he's always ending up forward.
3rd down and 2 from the 3-yard line. Up the middle. Touchdown, Rye. Chris Quinson, the fullback, with a 3-yard run. And the Garnets have opened up their lead now to 13-6.
What a ball player to give that call to. He has quick feet. They will not stop. He's just driving, going right over the goal line for 6 points. He's very fast. Defensively, he'll be in one spot. At the snap of a finger, he'll be in another spot. He just has tremendous foot speed and power.
So that block punt, very instrumental in the Garnets' next touchdown. As Joe King comes in to attempt his second extra point. Armis is the holder, and the kick is away, and it is good. 1:45 left to go in the 3rd quarter. It is now Rye 14 and J.F. Kennedy 6.
If I'm not mistaken, John, I think that's Joe King's 27th or 28th extra point this year.
25.
25, but he kicked two today.
26. That was number 26. Okay. 2 today and 24 coming into today's action.
Okay.
And he now has, let's see.
I think he only missed 3 all year, if I'm not mistaken, during the week when I was up there talking about it.
He now has 67 points this season. And we're going to have a chance to see the leading scorer in Section 1 later on this weekend, Sean Scott of John Jay. 30 or 20 touchdowns, 4 two-point conversions for 128 points. And he just ran away with it this year. Outdistancing Jim Pitaro of Edgemont, who finished the year with 109 points. Kickoff is away. Deegan has a little trouble finding the handle, finally gets it, and promptly goes down at the 25-yard line. So the Gales, trailing by 8, have it back. 1st and 10 from their own 23.
Here's the kickoff. Has a little trouble picking it up. Right here. Now he picks it up, and boom! Oh, did he get his feet taken under? Unbelievable. They are coming now. See, this is what you call momentum. If Rye's defense right here holds them, forces Kennedy to punt, then they have the momentum going their way. Now, with this momentum, you want to be consistent and carry it through the entire game.
Murray tries to go up the middle. Gave it to the fullback, Don Papa. And Papa to the 25. 2 yards. Gales faced with a 2nd down and 8 now.
We missed the ball right there, but there's 3 defenders coming in on that tackle. So the Rat Pack defense right here, if they can stop them, force them to punt, they'll give Rye a momentum.
Now the Gales continue to go to the running game. James Francula, number 44, with the carry out that 68-yard touchdown run. And he is now up to the 26-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and 7. A 2-yard gain. Clock continues to roll. 15 seconds left in the quarter. They'll bring Jeff Haig, split to the near side, number 84. Armis matches up with him. Murray still has a nice pitch outside to Jordian. Finds an opening, slips through 3 tackles, almost broken. Got it up to the 36-yard line, but that will be good for a 1st down.
That was a well-executed play, the option, because he pitched it when Murray was being hit. And Gordian just found a little opening of crease, picked up the 1st down, and if he would have just gotten away from one more defender, he would have been wide open going in for a score.
All right, there's the end of the 3rd quarter and a whale of a ball game in our Class B Section 1 Bowl Championship. At the end of 3, it is Rye 14, JF Kennedy 6, and we'll return to Memorial Field in a moment with more action right after this message.
If your tires look like this,
the Rye cheerleaders just getting it done week after week. It is now 1st and 10 for the Gales. The ball is at their own 36-yard line. They trail 14-6 as we start the 4th quarter. Francula got the football but ran into Roy Haney once again. Number 70, who drops him. Loss on the play of 1 yard, so the Gales now faced with a 2nd down and 11. 11:40 left to play in the ball game. Remember, games do not end in a tie. In Section 1 championship play, there is a sudden death overtime, and if we get to that point, we'll explain the procedure. Murray drops back to pass, little screen flare, set up, Jordian has it. Haney is chasing him and runs him down. Across the 40-yard line to the 43, and he'll be short of a 1st down by 3 yards. Pickup of 8 on the play.
That was an excellent call because the play before, Rye was penetrating, and they assumed that Rye would penetrate again to stop the running game. They came up with the screen left, and they pick up good yardage. Excellent call.
Harry Duffy split to the near side. Murray looking for him. Completes it. Good for a 1st down. Joe King right in on the coverage to drop Duffy. But the ball now up to the 47-yard line. 1st down, number 7.
This is where Kennedy is successful. That pass in a flat, just a 3-step drop, and the man is open. That wide receiver is going out full speed, and that's driving back the defensive man. Then the receiver just stops, comes back a yard, and he's wide open. It's done quickly. Quarterback 3-step drop.
There it is again, and it's completed again for another 1st down, and a penalty marker goes down. That'll be a late hit against the Garnets. Pass was completed to Bill Deegan, the senior split end. The ball is up at the 40-yard line. A 12-yard pass completion, and then they're going to tack on 15 more. And that's going to bring it down to the 25-yard line.
Okay, here's Murray. See that 3-step drop, a little run and shoot right there. Good reception. He picks up the 1st down.
And there you saw Tommy Armis bouncing down on Deegan after the whistle had blown.
I thought it was Quinson that hit him high.
Hit him high, but then Armis, after he was down, that's where the personal foul comes in. So the ball down to the 30 or the 25-yard line, where it is 1st and 10. 10:24 to go. Jordan looking to turn the corner. Joe King is there and brings him down out of bounds at the 22. 3 yards for Jordan.
It's tough to get to the outside perimeter against Rye because they do pursue well and they feather the play out. So you're just running to the sideline. Here's Gordian right here. See, he's running to the sideline. Rye is feathering him out. Let him run all he wants to the sideline. That's what you call feathering out. And then King comes up with the tackle.
2nd down and 7. Murray, 3-step drop back, throws and completes it. Harry Duffy again. This time at the 19-yard line.
See, those wide receivers are open. They're open to the right, they're open to the left. They're very successful with this. You run the play up the middle off tackle, and then you pass to the outside. You see this? Nice pass. Excellent passing by Murray. He's just hitting the man right in the numbers.
And a whistle and a timeout on the field will be taken by the Gales. That will be their 2nd, so they have just 1 more remaining before this ball game is over, and Rye leading by a score of 14-6. Kennedy's, we told you, 8-1 on the season this year with wins over Beacon, Spackenkill, Hendrick Hudson, Brewster, Panis, Lord, Somers, and Peekskill, and their only loss the last game of the regular season to John Jay by a score of 25-6. As you know, they're ranked number 6 in our poll, have scored 276 points coming into this game, and have only given up 59. Dino Garnets at 8-0-1. Wins this season over Sleepy Hollow, Eastchester, Tappan Zee, Nyack, Woodlands, Gorton, Byram Hills, and Harrison. And the only blemish, the half blemish, if you will, the tie to Portchester, 7-7. The Garnets ranked number 1 in our small school poll. 217 points they have scored. And as we told you earlier, the best defensive squad in all of Section 1, giving up only 31 points in 9 ball games to date.
The Portchester contingent is here right in front of us. They're waving a blue and white.
3rd down and 3 for the Gales. After the timeout, Murray again throws, completes. Big hit put on by Joe King. However, I believe it's Ropes at number 30, the wingback, and I don't know how he even held on to that one.
Well, Murray is doing an excellent job here. The man's in motion. Right down the middle, he throws it on the run. Beautiful tackle, but the passes are right there. Murray's putting on a tremendous exhibition. It's like a clinic in passing.
So a pickup of 9 yards. It is 1st and 10 from just outside the 10-yard line. Murray throws across the middle and completes it. Touchdown, JF Kennedy. Oh, Murray with a pinpoint pass in traffic. Jeff Haig, number 84, with a reception.
Murray with his passing, they're right there. All the passes are just tremendous exhibition of passing. Right, look at Murray. There he drops back a little bit more. He's throwing as he's dropping back. That's a sign of a strong arm. He's not even on balance. When you're on balance as a quarterback, you stand still. You can go up on your toes without going to one side or the other. That's what you call balance. And Murray has a strong arm, pinpoints it right in there for a touchdown. What a quarterback. Well, look at this again right here. See how he drops back? Look at that throw. Right there. Excellent reception. That's what you call concentration. Right on that ball. Here comes Middlestat right here. Now, this is a crucial call. This is where you tell the lineman, you have to give it your all. There's no 100% here. It's 130. Tomorrow, the season's over. Everyone has to do their assignment. They have to block. Whatever the play is, running or passing, it has to be executed perfectly.
There you see the Portchester cheerleaders who are leading their Rams in a little bit of a spirited salute. And after this timeout, which was taken by Rye, Dino Gar wanted to make sure that his defense was set as J.F. Kennedy came rushing up to the line. He'll go for that 2-point conversion, looking for the tie.
Okay, Dino Gar right here has a 6'5" goal line defense. That means you have men in the gaps between the center and the guards. A man's on a tackle. The defensive ends the outside shoulder to the end. All the eligible receivers, 5, are covered man for man. The key is the defensive line forming a new line of scrimmage in the offensive backfield.
Murray throws it into the end zone. Incomplete. And I think somebody may have gotten a hand on it at the line of scrimmage. Another key defensive play by the Garnets as they continue to hold on to the lead. Now 14-12.
Now this is a key play right here. Very crucial. There's the snap. The defense is high. Their hands are up. And just missed it.
I don't know. Did you see it? It looked like somebody may have got a hand on it.
It may have been deflected a little bit. I think number... Okay, we'll see. I think 70, there's an, oh no, 52. Watch 52 here. Look at 52. Up. No, he didn't touch it. No, I thought he touched it, but he didn't.
All right, now the Rye cheerleaders with a chance to whoop up their partisan crowd. It is now 14-12. 9:55 left to go in the fourth quarter. Rye has never trailed in this ball game, and as Coach mentioned earlier, they have bent, but have not broken yet. Nice little drive by the Gales.
Excellent. Murray at quarterback is just the play calling was excellent. The passes were right there. They hit the flats outside, right and left, drove it all the way down for a score.
77 yards on that last drive. And this one will come down to King. Again, he has trouble with the handle. Picks it up at his 15, now heads up the middle of the field, leaves his feet, and goes down at the 26-yard line. Make it the 27, and Rye will have it there, 1st and 10.
Now right here, Rye's going to have to get a first down, get in better field position. The defense is going to have to rise for Kennedy. Here's the kickoff. A good kick, a squibbler, bounces, boom, drops it, picks it up. Now watch him run. He's got to find the seam. He tries to dive over, and he's hit by 2 or 3 men. It's a physical game, hard-hitting football game. Everyone's going all out. There's no tomorrow. The season's over after tonight.
Now Steve Riebling, the sophomore quarterback, has to hold on to the football. They'll give it to Giglio. And the wingback, or the tailback rather, fights his way up to the 30-yard line. 3 more yards.
Okay, that was a blast over right tackle. There's a play. You're going to see it. They're going to go to the right. There's a fullback leading it. Okay, you got to get a block in there by that fullback, and there's Giglio. Look at the 1-2, about 5 men to bring him down. He just gets angry when someone tackles him. He wants to keep running all the time, like a thoroughbred out in the pass. He wants to run all the time.
Giglio now with 78 yards rushing. Riebling with a play action, looks for an outlet pass. Chris Winston has it as he tries to turn the corner, lost his footing, and went down close to the 35-yard line. 6-yard pass completion.
See, they're mixing it up very well. They're running, they're throwing a pass, they're keeping the defense on guard. The defense is not concentrating on a running game, so now they have to watch the passing game. Now when they're watching that a little bit, then Rye will come back with the running, and they'll pick up some yardage. Then they'll go to passing. They're just making that defense use the entire field, and there is no consistency to what Rye is doing offensively, so you really have to read, pick up your keys, do everything exceptionally well defensively.
Another official's timeout. Now they'll wind the clock up. 8:40 left to go in the fourth quarter. And it is 14-12, Rye leading JF Kennedy.
I think you really have to apply pressure on the quarterback. You have to get somebody in that offensive backfield that cause confusion or chaos.
3rd down and 4. Quinson, the fullback. And he just gets him back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Frank Hewlett, number 44, in on the stop, along with Robeson, number 30. And it will now be 4th down and 4, and Rye's going to be forced to punt it away.
You know, John, Kennedy does not seem odd coming into a bowl game after, only the 2nd time. They really came here to play hard-hitting football and come away with a victory.
All right, again, Riebling comes up behind the center. Joe King is standing at the 25-yard line. Watch for the pitch. First of all, watch for the shift. There it is. Kennedy very aware of it. Stay on side. Pitch goes to King. Gets the kick away very high, but the wind grabs it and drops it right down. And the ball down by Sal Giglio of Rye, but in Rye territory. And now we've got penalty markers all over the play. And I think that's going to be interference against the Garnets, as Giglio caught it before it hit the ground. And that's what Tony Sabella is saying.
Now you got to keep discipline here. You got to keep your poise. Now here's the quick kick. There, like John said, the wind grabbed it. It starts coming back. Number 32 tries to catch it.
Who the hell was there to catch it?
Okay, Dino Gar is saying there was no one there to catch it.
Except for Sal Giglio, unfortunately.
No, he meant no one from Kennedy there to catch it.
So that's going to be a penalty against Rye, and a big one as the ball is down at the Rye 48-yard line.
Now you're going to have to watch the passing game of Kennedy. They've been very successful. They can get right down there again. They've been throwing short passes to the flats. Now they may sneak one man going deep, so he may pump short in the flat and then go to the deep man, go for the big one. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for the big one right here on first down.
So the penalty assessed against the Garnets, 10-yarder. Or pardon me, 15-yard penalty.
And you can feel the excitement, the electricity here, because Rye is undefeated. They want that defense to rise to the occasion again. And Kennedy is disciplined, they're maintaining their poise, and they want to go in for a score.
So from the Rye 33-yard line, Murray brings the Gales to the line of scrimmage, trailing by a deuce. And Jordian with the call up to the 30-yard line, 3 more yards. Now here's a little stat I'll throw out at you. Bob Murray in the passing department has completed 7 in a row, and he's now up to 85 yards passing in the ball game.
And they're all short passes. They're nice, crisp. They're right there. They're right on the receiver's letters. They don't have to jump high or go down in the ground to pick them up. They are well-thrown passes. A great exhibition of passing by Murray.
Here he goes again, and this one is completed. Not, as a matter of fact, they're going to lose yards on this reception. Craig Robeson made the catch, but lost a yard on the play.
Now see here again, it's the pressure. Look at the pressure. Look at it coming in. He's got to get rid of it. Okay, there's the reception, but there is loss on the play.
So it'll be 3rd and a long 9 with 6:40 left to play in the 4th quarter. Murray across the middle, and it's completed Jordian, and he was able just to get that away because bearing down on him, Nick Stavridis, the defensive end, got it to Jordian, but it will be 4th down and 5.
Now Jordian has over 400 yards receiving. He can run and he can receive. Look at this pass. Nice catch, but they need more yardage. It's 4th down. Here's another crucial play. Now, will the offense rise or will the defense rise on this play?
4th and 5. 6 minutes left to go in the ball game. Jordian in motion. Murray drops back, throws towards the sidelines, incomplete. The Garnets will get the ball back. And that breaks a string of 9 straight completions by Murray as the Garnets defense rises, and they'll get it back with 5:54 left.
Okay, here's Murray right here. He just looks and throws. That was the first badly thrown pass. He just could not have a chance to catch that one.
No, Rye gets it back. Ball at their own 27-yard line. They lead 14-12, 5:54 left to go in the ball game.
Now the defense of Kennedy's going to have to apply pressure now. They're going to have to get in there in that offensive backfield again.
Dribbling, Giglio, hole opens up for him to the 35-yard line. He'll be 2 yards shy of the first down. 86 yards rushing now for Sal Giglio.
Boy, is he a workhorse right here at Thoroughbred. Look at this. There's the kick out by Quincy, the fullback. Look at him run. That's an excellent tackle there by number 20 for Kennedy. You have to wrap him because he would spin, twist, and go for more yardage.
2nd down and 2. Back to Giglio. Fights ahead and will be very, very close to that 1st down stake. Up to the 38-yard line. Maybe close enough for a 2nd measurement of the day.
They're going with power plays off tackle now. You see right here, there's the fullback leading the play. Now what he wants to do is block the linebacker, and then the hole will be there for Giglio to pick up the yardage. Now they're just running power plays. It's isolation, a blast, just off right tackle, left tackle, and they will go up the middle with a quick dive to Quincy.
All right, 3-yard pickup by Giglio, good for the 1st down. Number 12 on the day for the Garnets. But more important, this drive remains alive with 4:55 left to go in the game, and the Garnets leading 14-12.
And see, John, by keeping the ball on the ground, they're also chewing up the clock.
Armis is the slot back. Quincy the fullback. Giglio the tailback. Giglio again with the call. And this time he won't go anyway. Franculo, 44, in on the stop. And got a little help from John Carrozza, number 40, the strong safety. And they'll give Giglio credit of 1 yard.
Now here's where the holes are sealed up like a concrete wall, nowhere to go, and he lost yardage. Now in a game like this, John, I always felt as a coach, you know, a true winner, a true championship team will find a way to win it. You know, either talking about Kennedy coming up with a big play to score, or talking about Rye, you know, the big play would be maintaining control of the ball, picking up the 1st down, chewing up the clock, and walking away with a victory.
All right, out on the field, we have our 4-minute warning being issued to both sides. 4 minutes left to go in the ball game. Rye has 2 timeouts left. JF Kennedy has 1 timeout remaining to go. 14-12 is our score. And this is a pretty good ball game, and we've got another good one to follow this one tonight, as North Rockland will meet Scarsdale in the Class A championship, and that one will decide who will finish up as the number 1 team among the large schools. As we told you earlier in our pregame show that this is just the 2nd bowl appearance for the Kennedy Gales. Their only other appearance back in 1973 when they lost to Pleasantville 23-14. For Rye, this is their 8th appearance. They've won 5 and have lost 2. In 73, beat John Jay. In 74, down Valhalla. In 75, beat Pleasantville. In 76, beat Peekskill. In 83, lost to Westlake. 84, lost to Portchester. And last year defeated John Jay 7-0. 2nd down and 9. Under 4 minutes left to go in the ball game. Giglio gets the call. He'll go nowhere. He'll lose 2 yards on the play. Wrapped up by Joe Jordan, number 32.
See, that's exactly what they had to do. They had to get someone at offensive backfield and make the hit and stop him right there. Now watch this. Joe comes right in there. Right, see that? Right in there. Backfield. There's nowhere to go. He wraps up, and it's a great defensive play by Kennedy. Joe Jordan, he's an inside linebacker. He blitzed on that play. He's a senior, 6 foot, 205 pounds.
3rd down and 11 from the 36-yard line. Reebley's got to put it up. Across the middle, intercepted. Picked off by Bill Deegan. First interception thrown by Reebling in the ball game, but a big one, as the Gales will get it in Rye territory.
Right there, Reebley gives a low flake. It's like a bull leg right there. Beautiful interception by number 20. Comes right up in there to a good field position. They have plenty of time to take it in and come away with a victory. Again, they have to get past the Rye defense.
2:40 and running. 1st and 10. Jordan in motion. Murray drops back, pumps once. Down the sidelines. Almost intercepted by Mark Serhoff.
Mark!
He never saw it until it was right on top of him and had the presence of mind to step in front of Deegan and knock the pass away.
You're going to see Deegan right here. Didn't have a chance for the ball, but he'll knock it out of timeout. Surhoff's down right there. See, he goes in to make the tackle. That's what you do. You strip the man that's going to get the ball so he doesn't come up with the reception.
Give me tape.
Or the interception in that case.
Now we've got another official timeout on the field. Mark Surhoff, a little trouble with his helmet.
That's the mouthpiece. They're taping the mouthpiece to the face mask. Every ball player must have that face mask. I'm sorry, the mouth guard. Everyone has to have one, and what they do is they tape it onto their face mask.
I tell you, there's two guys who could have probably the longest argument in the history of the world. Referee Tony Sabella and head coach Dino Gar. Try to get a word in edgewise with those two guys.
Dino, forget about him.
All right, another whistle on the field. And Surhoff's still having problems. Now they're going to have to take him out of the ball game. Just can't get anything on that helmet. They just can't get it fixed off.
Okay,
so they're going to bring in Frank Consoli, number 35, to take Surhoff's place.
Now, what Kennedy should do right now, they should run a pass play towards Frank. Work on him immediately. Because Surhoff had a good feeling. He played the whole game. He knows exactly the moves of the receiver coming out. Now Frank is in there fresh. He doesn't know the moves, when he's going to make the break. So you work on him right now. See how good he does.
All right, Murray brings the club up. 2nd down and 10, 2:29 left to go in the ball game. Rye leads 14-12. Murray rolls out. Good protection across the middle, incomplete. Looking for Craig Robeson and just overthrew him. So that again stops the clock. 2:25 left, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
Here's Murray. He's rolling out. He sees his man. Oh, he just threw it over his head. Now, when a man's running, you have to lead him. Lead him. Don't throw it high. Lead him. You have to judge his speed. That's why you have practice. You have passers throwing to the receivers, and you learn the speed of the receiver. If he's very fast, you might lead him 5 yards. If he's a little slower, you lead him 3 or 4 yards.
Jordian in motion to the near side. They'll go up the middle. Fragula breaks away. Roy Haney finally brings him down by the ankles. But Fragula across the 35-yard line up to the 33. And Kennedy is going to take their 3rd and final timeout.
That was an excellent call, a draw play up the middle. You always have to say in a situation like this when you're on a sideline as a coach, watch the draw, watch the screen. You're yelling and screaming, watch the draw, watch the screen. And those guys are out there. Everybody's yelling. The fans are going wild. And, you know, the players have their helmets on, can't hear you. But then you always say it in practice, so it's like automatic to the players. Watch that draw and screen.
All right, after the timeout, the Gales will be faced with a 4th down and 1. 2:11 left to go. It is 14-12 in favor of Rye. The Garnets have denied the Gales 2 straight 2-point conversion attempts, and that's the difference in the ball game. And we'll remind you at the end of the ball game, Ray Karowski will be down on the field. He'll have the winning coach plus the 2 MVPs from this Section 1 Bowl championship, as I'm sure you are well aware of. The Westchester Coaches Association will decide who is the most dominant back and the most dominant lineman in the ball game. And we'll have them down on the field at the conclusion of the game. So 4th down and 1. Could be the ball game right here. Murray still has it. Throws it outside. Jordan can't get it. Falls on it, but the Garnets will get the ball back. A loss on the play of 4 yards. Jordan looked like he never got the handle. And now the Gales, with no timeouts left, have got to stop the Garnets on 3 straight downs. If Rye gets a 1st down, this ball game's over.
Okay, here's the option play right here. Little fake to the fullback. He goes and pitches it out. Just went off his fingertips.
I think he may have seen number 25, Alex Wickland, coming up, and just took his eye off the ball for a split second.
Because of that option play, the defense has responsibility. One man has the pitch man, and you're supposed to fly up right up into that pitch man's face.
Rye, of course, will keep it on the ground. Giglio with the call. Up across the 40-yard line. JF Kennedy could not stop the clock. So we'll send the coach down to the field to get set for our postgame show. We're down to 1.5 minutes left to play as Giglio gets 4 more yards. 1:21. Rye's got to pick up a first down. Riebling calls the set. Gives to Giglio again. He almost lost it. Bounces off of a tackle, tries to go back to the far side of the field. And finally, with his forward progress, they'll get him up to the 40-yard line, or make it the 42, so no gain on the play.
No gain on the play. 3rd and 6.
So it'll be 3rd down and 6 now for the Garnets. No gain on the play. Down to 30 seconds left to go in the ball game. And now a whistle on another official's timeout. Now Tony Sabella is going to chat with one of the Gales. I'm not exactly sure what the problem is out on the field, though we've had a few officials timeout in this ball game. Rye will huddle it back up again, and they'll get the clock rolling again. So there's a break there, as Rye had what looked to be the 25-second clock rolling down, and then they got an additional 25 seconds.